Lord Byron's dedication in Don Juan. Bob Southey, you're a poet, poet laureate, and representative of all the race. Although it's 'tis true that you turned out a Tory at last, yours has lately been a common case. And now, my epic renegade, what are ye at, with all the Lakers in and out of place, a nest of tuneful persons to my eye, like 24 blackbirds in a pie, which pie being opened they begin to sing, this old song and new simile hold good, a dainty dish to set before the king, or regent, who admires such kind of food. And Coleridge too has lately taken wing, but like a hawk encumbered with his hood, explaining metaphysics to the nation. I wish he would explain his explanation. You, Bob, are rather insolent, you know, at being disappointed in your wish to supersede all warblers here below, and be the only blackbird in the dish. And then you overstrain yourself, or so, and tumble downward like the flying fish, gasping on deck, because you soar too high, Bob, and fall for lack of moisture. Quite a dry Bob. And Wordsworth, in a rather long excursion, I think the quarto holds 500 pages, has given a sample from the vasty version of his new system to perplex the sages. 'Tis poetry, at least by his assertion, and may appear so when the dog-star rages. And he who understands it will be able to add a story to the Tower of Babel. You, gentlemen, by dint of long seclusion from better company, have kept your own at Keswick, and through still continued fusion of one another's minds, at last have grown to deem as a most logical conclusion that posies have reefs for you alone. There is narrowness in such a notion, which makes me wish you had changed your lakes for ocean. I would not imitate the petty thought, nor coin my self-love to so base a vice, for all the glory of conversion brought, since gold alone should not have been its price. You have your salary, was it for that you wrought? And Wordsworth has his place in the excise. You're shabby fellows, true, but poets still, and duly seated on the immortal hill. Your bays may hide the baldness of your brows, perhaps some virtuous blushes, let them go. To you I envy neither fruit nor boughs, and for the fame you would engross below, the field is universal, and allows scope to all such as feel the inherent glow. Scott, Rogers, Campbell, Moore, and Crabbe will try against you the question with posterity. For me, who wandering with pedestrian muses, contend not with you on the winged steed. I wish your fate may yield ye, when she chooses, the fame you envy and the skill you need. And recollect, a poet nothing loses in giving his brethren their full meed of merit, and complaint of present days is not certain path to future praise. He that reserves his laurels for posterity, who does not often claim the bright reversion, has generally no great crop to spare it, he being only injured by his own assertion. And although here and there some glorious rarity arise like Titan from the sea's immersion, the major part of such appellants goes to God knows where, for no one else can know. If fallen in evil days on evil tongues, Milton appealed to the Avenger Time. If Time the Avenger exculpates his wrongs, and makes the word Miltonic mean sublime, he died not to belie his soul in songs, nor turned his very talent to a crime. He did not loathe the sire to laud the son, but close the tyrant hater here begun. Thinkest thou could he, the blind old man, arise like Samuel from the grave, to freeze once more the blood of monarchs with his prophecies, or be alive again? Again all hoar, with time and trials, and those helpless eyes, and heartless daughters, worn and pale and poor. Would he adore a sultan? He obeyed the intellectual eunuch Castlereagh. Cold-blooded, smooth-faced, placid miscreant, dabbling its sleek young hands in Erin's gore, and thus for wider carnage taunt to pant, transferred to gorge upon a sister shore, the vulgarest tool that tyranny could want, with just enough of talent and no more, to lengthen fetters by another fixed, and offer poison long already mixed. An orator of such set trash of phrase, ineffably, legitimately vile, that even its grossest flatterers dare not praise, nor foes, all nations condescend to smile, not even a sprightly blunder's spark can blaze from the Elixion's grindstone's ceaseless toil, that turns and turns to give the world a notion of endless torment and perpetual motion. A bungler, even in its disgusting trade, and botching, patching, leaving still behind something which his masters are afraid. States to be curbed, thoughts to be confined, conspiracy or congress to be made, cobbling manacles for all mankind, a tinkering slave-maker, who mends old chains with God and man's abhorrence for its gains. If we may judge of matter by the mind, emasculate to the marrow, it hath but two objects, how to serve and bind. Deeming the chain it wears even men may fit, Atropius of its many masters, blind to worth as freedom, wisdom as to wit, because no feeling dwells in ice, its very courage stagnates to a vice. Where shall I turn me not to view its bonds, for I will never feel them? Italy, thy late reviving soul desponds, beneath the lie this state thing breathed o'er thee. Thy clanking chain, and Erin's yet green wounds, have voices, tongues to cry aloud for me. Europe has slaves, allies, kings, armies still, and Salvi lives to sing them very ill. Meantime, Sir Laureate, I proceed to dedicate in honest simple verse this song to you, and if in flattering strains I do not predicate, 'tis that still retain my buff and blue. My politics as yet are all to educate, apostasy so fashionable too. To keep one's creeds, a task grown quite Herculean. Is it not so, my Tory ultra Julian?